Yeah, it's March, which means it's time for us all to sit back and enjoy the best sporting event in the history of mankind. Landon Bracketology going strong in year 5 or 6 here. You know how this works. I can't participate in any pools or gambling of any type as a college basketball coach, but what I'm going to do is let you soak up some knowledge, and if I can help you have a better chance and enhance your odds at winning the pool that you're in, I would love to help you with that. So what we're going to do is go around this whole bracket, region by region. I'll call who comes out of each region into the Final Four. I'll call some upsets, talk about some interesting storylines and players to keep an eye on. In the Midwest region, which is where we'll start, Kentucky with the #1 overall seed. I think Mark Titus said it best, that for 67 teams in the field, unfortunately, they were seeded in the same tournament as Kentucky. I think we've all got Kentucky winning the national championship. So let's just talk about the rest of the region and the rest of the bracket. We'll talk about the championship at the end. #4 seed, Maryland in the Midwest. I'll have to shout out a childhood friend, Ryan Drinks, who is a legitimate, loyal Terp fan. They've been down for a while. Mark Turgeon has made them relevant again. They got a big-time player in Des Wells who's going to help them. I might even like them to get to the Elite Eight, Final Four, but they're in Kentucky's region. Not going to happen this year. But Drinks, enjoy the tournament and your Terps. A lot of people really upset that Texas made the tournament. They got a big-time front court. I think that they could knock off Butler, the 6th seed in the first round. A lot of people high on Notre Dame. Not sure I'm as high on Notre Dame as many people. But check out the bottom of the Midwest region. Wichita State and Kansas. Wichita State with the 7 seed. Kansas with the #2 seed. That's kind of a cool territorial matchup, fighting for Kansas in the second round. You know, if Kansas had Cliff Alexander on the floor, I would say Kansas no-brainer. I doubt he's cleared by the NCAA in time for that matchup, so I can be talked into Wichita State, the 7th seed, over Kansas in the second round. Got Kentucky coming out of that region, obviously, into the Final Four. I think that's a no-brainer. Okay, down to the West, Wisconsin with the #1 seed down there. Really fun team, big star power, Frank Kaminsky, really fun to watch. They've got a pretty good path. Oregon and Oklahoma State, that's a rematch of a game that happened 2 years ago that I picked as an upset in Landon Bracketology. Oregon with the better seed this year. I got them moving on. That'll be a great first-round game. What else is down there? BYU, if they make it in that play-in game, I could see them knocking off Xavier. I'm big on 11 seeds this year, regardless of how controversial they are. Baylor, the #3 seed. Love Rico Gathers, who's probably the best combination of talent and toughness that you'll see in college basketball this year. Love their zone. I think that they'll be a good team. Don't be shy about betting them. I could see them, pushing Arizona to the brink, but I got Arizona and Wisconsin in the Elite Eight. Rematch of a great game last year that had a controversial foul call late. Here's the thing. Last year, Arizona did not have Brandon Ashley healthy. This year they do. I think he helps cover Frank Kaminsky, and Arizona moves on into the Final Four out of the West region. Okay, over to the East, and this is where things get crazy. Villanova with the #1 seed. Really good team. A lot of people saying that North Carolina State could be a threat to them in the second round. I don't like that. What I do like is Louisville, who I know dismissed Chris Jones and has struggled shooting the basketball. It's March, and if Louisville can meet Villanova in the Sweet 16, that's a game even without Chris Jones. Montrezl Harrell is still the guy, and having a big-time front-court player like him, I think that they could knock off #1 seed Villanova in the Sweet 16. What else do we got down there? Oklahoma's a fun team. Buddy Hield is a really cool player, guy from the Bahamas, high energy, kind of fun-loving perimeter player who teammates have nicknamed Buddy Love. That's a Nutty Professor reference for those of you that don't know that great Eddie Murphy movie. Michigan State down there with the 7 seed. and then Virginia down there. Looking at a Michigan State-Virginia second-round matchup. Virginia is a great team. A lot of people argue that they should be a #1 seed in the tournament. Really good defensive team in the half court. So is Michigan State. Michigan State playing really well right now. Watched them lose. Had a chance to win the Big Ten tournament championship. Shot rimmed out at the buzzer. They could have easily won that game. I got them upsetting Virginia and moving on and facing Louisville, who upset Villanova in the Elite Eight. Get this, 7 seed, Michigan State, moving past Louisville into the Final Four. Finally down to the South region. Duke with the #1 seed down there. Really good team. Another great first-round game to check out, San Diego State and St. John's. I got San Diego State. I'm biased. I'm from the West Coast. Utah's a fun team down there. The big one that we're going to call 13 seed, mark this down, Eastern Washington drops Georgetown. First round. There's your big upset. And let me just shout out Jim Hayford, Eastern Washington's coach, one-of-a-kind type guy. Took over there 4 years ago. We actually got a chance to go out and play them in an exhibition when I was an assistant at Concordia. Really cool guy, real unique. He did not rush anything. He took a really young group, struggled for a couple years. He's built that program on his terms. Really admire the way that he's done that. He's got Tyler Harvey, who I believe leads the nation in scoring. Interesting international presence on that roster. And they will knock off Georgetown in a major upset. Another 11 seed, controversial. Some guys on TV talking about UCLA getting into the tournament like it was a crime against humanity. I've got them knocking off 6 seed SMU. Iowa State, haven't seen them a ton this year. Saw them 3 times in the last week in the Big 12 championship. Didn't see them play a good first half. Watched them come from behind all 3 times, and obviously they won that tournament. If they can put together 2 halves, they'd be a really scary team. And then Gonzaga's down there. Really fun team. Arvydas Sabonis' son is a freshman at Gonzaga. Really good post player. My favorite freshman in the country. I have them matching up with Duke in the Elite Eight, and then Duke advancing to the Final Four. Let's cover the Final Four real quick. I got Duke going past Michigan State. Kentucky and Arizona, I think, will be a really, really good game. And I think that, you know, if that's a close game, Kentucky's psyche could shift. It'll be interesting to see what they look like in the championship. If we can get Kentucky and Duke in the national championship, that'll be a great game for a lot of reasons. 2 great coaches, historic programs, but all anybody talks about when they're talking about Kentucky is, you know, all the NBA players that they have. Duke has potentially 3 NBA first-round picks on this team right now. Obviously, Okafor, Justice Winslow, and Tyus Jones. So again, you can only play 5. A lot of NBA talent out there, a lot of youth, great coaches, and I think that it's a close game. But Kentucky overcomes Duke because they're able to just run more 7-footers fresh off the bench at Okafor the entire game. Going to be a great tournament. Don't be shy about picking a team like Duke or even Arizona past Kentucky. Wisconsin, you know, I could see Kentucky kind of breezing through the tournament, but there's a lot of really good teams out there, and they won't just have the free pass once they get to the Final Four. Be bold in your brackets. Like I said, I can't participate in a pool, but the best pool in America is Will and John's pool, which is done by Will Froelich and John Host. That's the one that my family and friends participate in. If you're not in that pool, that is high on your list of things to do in 2015. And then a quick shout out, Free Jim Boeheim. It was really sad to see that he's getting wins vacated from him, one of my favorite coaches out there. And obviously Syracuse is not in the tournament. But, you know, they'll be back, and the tournament is not the same without you in at Syracuse. Finally, I will be in Indianapolis for the Final Four. I'll get there Wednesday, April 1st. Look forward to seeing any coaches and friends that are out there. Everybody, enjoy the tournament. It's the best time of year. Take Thursday and Friday off work. Do your grocery shop on Wednesday night. Sit back on your couch. Enjoy the tournament. Fill out those brackets. And I'll see you all in 2016.